years ago, not too long ago, in about 2000, if you researched the term mindfulness to find out a little bit more about it, there wasn't much known. There were about 600 published research papers on mindfulness, and it started to become something that people wanted to find out more about. This morning, I Googled mindfulness. 5 million results. That's a significant change. And what's been happening? We've been doing, we as in the nation and the world, scientists, doctors, professors, they're researching the importance of mindfulness and how it is helping people in many different ways. 2 months ago, I had no idea what mindfulness was. Some of you in this room may not know what it means, others may have heard of it. A friend of mine told me to enroll in a course at UCLA at the Mindfulness Awareness Research Center, where they have a lot of money granted to them to invest in research. For the last 6 weeks, I haven't been at Toastmasters. I ran away, I disappeared, went off to UCLA, and I meditated every Thursday night for 6 weeks. And not just every Thursday night, but every day in between Thursday night, Friday through Wednesday, and learned what mindfulness really was, and took a different approach on life. So I'm here today to share with you a little bit about mindfulness, what it means, and how it made an impact in my life in particular, just in the 6 weeks that I've taken this class and started meditation. Mindfulness begins, it's defined as being aware of the present experience. You're mindful, you're aware. And you're not only aware, but you're aware of being aware. You say, hey, wait a second. I just realized that I'm aware that I'm aware. That's mindfulness. It's a start. And mindfulness, they teach you to focus on your breath. Why? Because the breath is neutral. We don't hold any bad feelings about it. We don't hold grudges. We don't say, breath, stop making so much noise. You're not thinking about it. You're not angry. You aren't fighting with it. So you come to your body and you breathe. And that's what mindfulness practice is about. Thinking and feeling sensations. Many studies have shown that mindfulness, they say, helps with chronic suffering, anxiety, stress, pain, dealing with an illness in the family or an emotional traumatic event. It can help in so many ways. I want to share with you how it's helped me with pain and give you a little trick as well on what you can do to help it. So to begin, I'll start with a little study. At Oxford University just a few years ago, they put people into an MRI scan of their brain, and at the same time as they were doing an MRI scan, they took heat sensors and they pushed it against people's hands. And these heat sensors, they're painful. They hurt. Half the group, they said, no instructions. They gave no instructions, and they watched the behavior. Physically, did the person freak out? And also, or were they calm and they watched in the MRI if the pain sensors in the brain were lighting up? The other half of the group, they taught them a little mindfulness. They gave them an exercise and they asked them to focus on their breath and to think about breathing. And instead of focus on the pain, they didn't see the light sensors in the brain light up. And as well, the people just, they may have shrugged or they didn't react in panic. That research study actually stuck with me the most out of everything I learned in this 6-week course. Because 3 months ago, I went through a similar experience. I went to UCLA and I got Fraxel laser treatment done on my face. And if anyone knows anything about Fraxel laser treatment, they take heat sensors or heat and they burn the skin 8 times off your cheeks. It's cosmetic surgery, it's to look more beautiful. So I signed up for it. I was horrible. I remember I was in panic. I was in panic so bad they had to have 2 nurses come in to try to calm me down, and I was hyperventilating. They gave me 2 stress balls. I held those stress balls so tight that when I was done the treatment, I opened my hands, they were purple, they were blue, and I had fingernail indentations in my hands from the pain that I suffered. Not necessarily felt, but that I suffered through my mind through that treatment. And when you sign up for this, you're committed to do it 2 to 3 times. The doctor tells you do it once, you won't see any results. You have to do it again. 2 weeks ago, I did it again. Except this time, I did it after my mindfulness class. I sat in the doctor's office, 7 in the morning, meditating for 35 minutes with the door shut. Thinking about my breath, being in touch with myself and my body. And then I went into the to reflect on myself, stay in tune with my breath. One of the other things with mindfulness that help you do is focus on something that's not painful, such as your foot, something else neutral. So I thought about my feet dangling off the chair. And I drew my toes through my body. I felt where my toes were located. Treatment was done in 4 minutes. First time, it took 45 minutes because that's how much panic I was in. The lesson of all this, pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. How much do you suffer and how much do you choose to suffer? Because if you are aware of your suffering and you're mindful of the sensations in your body and you're focused on your breath and not the pain itself, you might not be in so much pain. I'll quickly say that my last name is Wine Man. I am known to whine. People always told me that I whine my whole life, and they always make fun of that. So to end today, I just want everyone to shut your eyes for a minute. Please shut your eyes and take a deep breath. Feel that breath coming in your nostrils and out your nostrils, and the air rising in your stomach and falling. And I invite you back to the room and know that you just experienced a small piece of mindfulness. Mr. Toastmaster.